It's interesting that the big pitch and positioning from Toyota for the new Yaris sedan is that of a value champion, which means we're expecting it to have a really competitive position price-wise too. Now, of course, it competes with the likes of the Honda City, the Maruti Suzuki Ciaz, and the hot seller right now, the Hyundai Verna. In terms of shape and size and attribute, of course, it sits right there in that compact sedan space. New Toyota design language up front, so it kind of complements the nice high-endness of the facelifted Corolla that we do have, that's getting pretty popular in our market, and it does have a very distinct face. Now, there are some LED elements thrown around in there. There is an interesting parking light element as well here that gives the car a distinct look, and a chrome element that runs through on this massive headlamp. So again, very distinct. 15-inch wheels, and I can tell you that the Indian version is going to get disc brakes on all 4 wheels. So that's a good thing from a safety point of view, and that's the second big pitch from Toyota. The whole idea here is to focus very highly on safety, and so the top model gets 7 airbags as standard. Now, the wheels are 15 inches, but the ground clearance has been increased by 20 millimeters specifically for the Indian model, which of course takes into account some of the re-engineering that's gone into this car. Fairly high on local content is what we've been assured as well, and of course the whole point here would be, again, remember, to play up that value proposition. I want to show you the boot because, well, all right, let's come up to the back, because that's going to be another part of the story that becomes interesting for a lot of buyers. It's a huge, cavernous, really deep boot. You can look inside and it is going to swallow up a fair amount of luggage. It goes all the way back there, and you want to come around and look inside because it is nice and deep, and that's going to be a pretty big USP of this car, in my opinion. The rear, again, LED lights highlight that particular rear styling treatment. The Yaris badge is what Toyota has gone with for India, and remember, there's a lot of speculation that the car would be called the Vios. It's not. It's going to be the Yaris, and it's easier to pronounce. I think in the Indian context, Yaris does work much better. The rear is actually really attractive. I do like the way it's been styled as well. Gives you a sense of good amount of space because the wheelbase appears fairly generous. Let's go inside now and talk about the interior spec. I'm starting from the back because, yes, a lot of buyers are still chauffeur-driven in this space, and it is the back seat that might matter to a lot of you. It's a full flat floor, so that in itself becomes a bit of an advantage and a USP. The sense of space back here is actually pretty good. You have a drop-down armrest with 2 cup holders, standard stuff, but what is different, AC vents. It's a roof-mounted AC air circulator, which is extremely different. Maybe a bit of a Innova-esque hangover that Toyota might still have, but it's different and it'll attract a lot of attention just for the sake of being different. Of course, the cabin isn't that large that the front AC vents will not cool it. I think we should be all right on that front. Of course, we'll wait for that AC performance when we actually test the car on its drive. Up front, the styling is actually quite nice and modern, and there's an interesting stitching element that's been brought into this IP molding here. Toyota says it's a first and it is new. It is very different. The touch panel here is similar to what you have on the City. It has that feel, but of course it is still button led, very nicely finished, and you do get a touch screen up there, though it is going to be the Optitron meter that I think gets your attention first up. Surprising not to have a telescopic adjustment on the steering wheel. It is just adjustable for height, but otherwise good driver position, nice comfortable seat, and the option, of course, of a CVT besides the 6-speed manual.